Hello guys! Back with me again, Haga. We are back to playing AI Somnium Files. Okay, before that... Yeah, I think it's working fine now. My internet suddenly go down before I'm just starting the game. I don't know why, but it seemed to work perfect now. Anyway, let's play. Da-da-da. Ooh. This kind of thing. Oh my god. This kind of thing is like singing to your soul. Wow. Anyway, I forgot. Just remember something. I'm gonna try the English voiceover now. I'm using Japanese and it's have a lot of feeling on each of the voice line. But I hear the English voiceover is also good enough. Not good enough. It's also good. That make me wonder if I'm gonna like it. So I'm gonna use English for now. Let's load the game. Wait, where am I? Day 1, day 2, sinking in the brain, was office. This is the last. Okay, what else in here? A pumpkin. Have I opened everything here? AC vent. Cold air is blowing from the AC.
Stop ogling me.
I am not ogling you.
Oh my god, we just barely begin.
Reminds me
Matryoshka.
of you, boss. You have many faces, one inside the other. No matter how deep you go, you'll never get to the real you.
Matryoshkas eventually end, though. You get to the last one, the smallest one, like a child. That's the real me.
Oh, that's deep. Okay, what else in here? A chair. Okay, a bag. Okay, what is this bag? Bag hanging on a rack. And inside the bags are masks, like for costume party? Why there's a lot of them? Wine bottle tombstone? Oh, wait, there's a broom in here. A broom is leaning against the wall. Poster. Christmas, plaster figure, stationery bag, lifesaver, symbol boy band, poster map, mask. Triangular skis, dart machine, happy birthday banner. Coffee
I can't
maker.
live without coffee. I love it smooth and dark.
I'm always amused by the boss's ability to make anything sound dirty. I wonder if she does it. Soggy piece. It's a king soggy piece. I think that's everything. Tanuki, fishing flags, Salvador. Okay, let's continue. Look.
Interrogators say she hasn't said a word since we found her.
The doctors say she's traumatized. She can't speak. She's seeing a specialist at Central Hospital right now.
Did you take her to the hospital after we found her?
Yeah.
Were you with her this whole time? You're like her legal guardian then.
No, she just lives with me.
Mizuki Okura. Okay, let me do something. Okay. Seem too high. Okay, let me drop down the game voice. I think that's enough. She's 12 years old, in the 6th grade. Certain circumstances brought us to live together, but we aren't blood related. Sort of like a stray cat that found her way into my home.
In any case, we're not going to get anything from her.
Is it me or is look yellow? Oh yeah, I forget to disable my flux. Look. Actually, Renjo Okura?
Have you picked up Renju yet?
He's at a police station nearby being interviewed. He's not a suspect yet, just standard procedure stuff.
Renjo is so cool. Ex-husband, and not to mention an old friend of mine.
I wonder what Renju was doing last night.
Yeah.
I did call him a few times. He didn't answer.
He didn't?
No.
The local police tried his phone too, but they got the same result. No one was able to get a hold of him until this morning. We explained the situation to him, had him verify Shoko's corpse, and naturally started asking him questions.
Okay. Did we ever identify who called it in?
The person who reported the screaming?
Right.
Unfortunately, not yet.
What's the holdup?
They didn't identify themselves over the phone.
You should
Okay.
have a location by now.
All we know is that it was a payphone.
Payphone? That's odd.
It is
Yeah.
unusual. Whoever it was clearly didn't want us knowing their identity. It may have even been the killer.
It's a future. Wait. Oh shit. It actually has a physical body. I don't know if it's cute or gross. It's weird. Oh no.
No, not hello. I told you not to just pop out of nowhere like that.
I do not understand your concern. Boss knows me by now.
Well, still.
What the hell? Look, it's me. I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing myself with my own eye. It's creepy. Well, I suppose it isn't really my eye. Aiba is my left eye. She's outside of my socket right now. But I see what she sees, and it as if it were my eye. Her body and the terminal in the back of my eye socket are connected wirelessly. Nice. Yo. Desk, boss desk. There are stickers all over the front. Boss is looking at Aiba. My left eyeball is Aiba. She sees things differently than I do. Who are you?
Is that a serious question?
Yes.
We've been partners for 5 years. You know who I am.
So who are you? Why did you come out?
I haven't been getting a lot of exercise lately.
You're joking, right?
It's been 5 years since we first met. One day I got called into the control room and Peter, the engineer, showed it to me.
The official title is AI Ball. You may call her Aiba. The artificial intelligence contained within this sphere is nothing short of miraculous.
Okay.
An autonomous artificial intelligence birthed from collective nanotechnology.
Ooh.
Its ability to think is controlled by a program we call the Wadjet system.
What yet?
Special Agent Date, from today forward, this is your partner. She will be your personal computer and your personal companion.
I've been living in my head ever since. She gather info and run analysis. She can also access wireless network and hack into other computer. While she's in my eye socket, we communicate through an artificial nerve to my brain. Sorry for that. Okay, why did you come out?
Okay, really now. What's the real reason you came out?
There is something I need to report to the boss.
To me?
Correct. I could have had the message relayed through Date, but that would have been less efficient. I concluded that it was better to have the both of you hear this together.
Aren't you wasting a lot of time explaining this?
Please listen quietly. I have determined who reported the crime.
Ooh,
You have?
nice. You know, you are kind of cute.
Aren't I? I receive that compliment frequently.
Your attitude isn't, though.
So, am I cute or not cute?
I was joking.
I don't understand your joke. Can you explain what's funny about it?
Nope, not cute at all. Okay, let's see myself. Who are you?
Who are you? My name is Kaname Date. I work as a special agent for the investigation squad Abyss at NPD.
You're handsome.
You're a handsome-looking man. Oh, no, stop it.
Are you okay, Date?
Perhaps it's time for his medication.
Damn it. Hello.
Hello, me. Did you know that the Zhuang people are the largest ethnic minority in China? Yeah, just a little trivia for you. I'm full of useful information.
Ooh, nice. I'm sorry for that. Why my sound is not working? Okay, it's strange. Wait, hotkey should have always working. No, it does. I'm sorry for that. Let me mark that. Okay. I don't know why, but at night, my right nose always jam. I don't know why. I see myself as he see me. It's about I.
I've been thinking a lot lately. About myself. If I have another mind inside me, am I really me?
Well, it reminds me of something Arthur Rimbaud once wrote. I is another.
Meaning what?
You have to figure that out for yourself. That's the point.
Okay. I don't know about that. About my eye.
Hey, so about my left eye.
Now's not the time to talk about that.
Ooh, the BGM, damn. It's a nice BGM. So, about AI.
What does love mean to you?
Where is this coming from?
Just answer the question.
Let me guess. You're asking me because the Japanese word for love is I, right? Like a pun? I'm right, aren't I? You dork.
That hurts, you know.
Okay. I don't know what will happen if I use the Japanese voice in there. So yeah, the love can in Japanese is also I, I can, or it can also be koi, KOI, koi. So I don't know what will happen if I use Japanese voice and choose that option there.
Hey, boss, is it possible to do something about her personality?
Yeah.
That's me. I didn't create her. Get Pewter to tinker with her.
Wasn't the AI ball your idea, though?
Yeah, but I didn't choose her personality or the way she talks. You can thank Pewter for that.
Ooh, damn. He is messing with me. Okay, back inside.
No,
I'm giving you an order.
does not compute.
Wow! He has a worse personality. Okay, who reported the crime?
I found the payphone that the caller used.
Okay,
Near the location of the crime, Bloom Park.
okay.
Thus, I decided to check the surveillance footage of any security cameras operating nearby.
So you found a way
Ooh.
into that database.
That is correct. That area has little foot traffic, even less at night. The time of the report was around 9 p.m. Cameras only caught one person in the area around that time. I analyzed the footage and was able to obtain a facial recognition match. They were registered as a person of interest in the police database.
Who?
Oh my god, who was it?
Matsushita Ota, 24 years old, male. I have marked his address on the map. That is all.
Date?
Way ahead of you, boss. Let's go, Iba.
Affirmative.
Now go back inside. Map. When you are able to visit a new destination, map will appear in the bottom right of the screen. Open up the map and pick a destination. You can always check the tutorial by going to menu file appendix. Okay, I think it's done. Just checking if I still mute my stream. My voice. Okay, map. Matsushita dinner. Saturday 10:18 a.m. Ooh, a simple restaurant.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry we
Hello.
aren't open yet.
Oh, I'm not a customer. I'm here for something else. I'm with the MPD.
I flash my badge.
Oh, heavens, no. Is my boy... Is Ota in trouble?
Calm down, ma'am. I'm just here to ask some questions.
He hurried out of the kitchen.
And you're Ota's...
His mother,
And your name, ma'am?
Mayumi Matsushita.
Miss Matsushita. Before we talk, could I make a request?
Mm?
Could you put that knife down, please?
I just realized that.
Oh, goodness. Sorry.
Damn. Maybe put the knife down on the table beside her. The kitchen knife. There's a kitchen knife on the table. Something is engraved on the handle. Zoom.
A kitchen knife with a floral pattern.
There's something written on the handle.
Mom, I love you always.
Ooh.
Ota gave me that knife for Mother's Day when he was in elementary school. He knows how much I love flowery designs. I've used it every single day since he gave it to me. Oh, it's more than just a kitchen knife. It means the world to me.
Wow. It's personally for me, I never see a knife that has picture on this side. It's always a smooth finish. It's a knife wheel with floral pattern. The words "Mom, I love you always" are carved on the handle. Okay, that's everything. Table? A table. Menu.
Kuroda Kazuaki's cheek boiled in red wine.
Wait,
Let's
what?
hope that's not what it sounds like.
A large jellyfish.
Sure, it's a large jellyfish in the middle of this restaurant here.
Yeah.
Salt, pepper, a blend of red cayenne and spices, and an unidentified liquid.
It says Mayumi's black sauce.
Okay. Don't worry, ma'am. Just wait a bit. I'm gonna check everything first. Either of us can figure out what that sauce is. Window. Nothing but if window. A beer ad on the
She's
wall.
cute.
You have zero standards, Kaname Date.
What difference between stool and a round chair?
A swimming door.
Swimming?
A swinging door.
Do you want to see? It was delivered a little while ago.
Any idea what's inside it?
It's bound to be merchandise from that horrible succubus. She forces Oda to buy them. I know it.
Who?
The sender is Great Grin.
A popular online store.
The product description reads solid model.
It's a cardboard box. There's a delivery slip attached to it. It's Amazon.
We should look inside. Use the X-ray mode.
Load table.
This reminds me of the funniest props compilation I saw.
You reached pretty far back for that reference.
Okay, which reference is that? Let me see this thing. Oh my god.
Now, what is this?
A solid PVC model of a person, known as a figure.
Something's written on the base.
The letters appear to be some kind of metal. The permeability of X-ray vision should make them legible.
A set.
Eh? Wait.
Allow me to investigate. A moment, please.
Okay, what happened? Why it's always going out? I can zoom in. By the way, this is a nice model. Wait, that horn. Is that Anya? spy family? It's a grown-up Anya. Anya said, "Ooh, nice, very nice." What else? Look, zoom. Okay, that is everything. Tanzaku paper.
That is the autograph of Iruka from Dark Zone Kalimas.
Who?
Who? Who is that? It's a photo. I can tell what's on it from here. A zoom.
Family photo, huh?
Mayumi and Ota when they were younger. The other person appears to be Ota's father.
Da, da, dun, dun, dun.
Ring, 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 ring.
Ring, ring,
Sorry,
ring.
gotta take this.
Ah, ring,
What are you
ring,
doing?
ring.
Sorry, just trying to lighten the mood.
Wow. Let's just move on. Look, Ota's mother, Matsushita Mayumi. Tell me about your restaurant.
Oh, it's just a little diner. But not to toot my own horn or anything. We do get quite a lot of customers here. I
Ooh.
manage it with my husband, but it can get pretty hectic during lunchtime.
Peculiar.
What?
This establishment is near the Kabasaki district that's been off limits for 8 years. That could mean... Never mind.
Huh?
Huh? How long?
Oh, about 30 years now. We had to borrow a lot of money to get started, but back then, everyone was willing to lend you money.
Okay, where is your husband?
I think he went to buy some ingredients. He comes and goes all the time without telling me. This is nothing new.
Is it? If it's true, why you put a picture, family picture in there? About the weather.
The rain last night was pretty bad, wasn't it?
The rain? Oh, right, yes.
Oh, wait, what? Watch Soko? Just in case. I
Does
brought
this woman look familiar to you?
No, I don't recognize her. Who is she?
No one. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so she doesn't know. Is Ota here?
That boy. He's been hanging out at this office building lately.
What kind of office?
Oh, what was it? It's a place where irresponsible young men hang out. Nonconformists and the like.
What, like gangsters?
Oh, heavens, no, nothing like that. Ota wouldn't go to a place like that.
Then...
Oh, I remember. It's a production office, an entertainment company.
Wait, what? What's the name of the company?
What was it? I'm sorry, my memory's been so spotty lately.
Why does Ota hang out?
Because
Yeah.
there's a goddess there.
What?
Ota says it all the time. A goddess. More like a witch, if you ask me.
A witch, huh?
Yes, a witch put a spell on my poor Ota. Makes him spend all his money on her. You see that box over there?
Yes?
The one on the table?
Yes. Just look. You'll see what I mean.
So is this witch working there?
Yes, that good-for-nothing temptress works for that entertainment group. She's an idol.
Do you know her name? I'm assuming it's not witch.
Her name? I don't remember. I just call her the witch.
Alright, I'm getting nowhere. She doesn't remember the talent or the company.
Even I am at a loss.
Yeah.
Can you call him?
Call him?
Yes. Does he have a cell phone?
A cell phone? Why would he need a cell phone if we have a phone at the house?
He doesn't have one?
He better not. Waste of money.
You can abandon this line of questioning, Date. Ota does
Yeah.
have a phone. I found his number.
Wait, he have?
Call it.
I have already attempted to call multiple times. There is no connection. Either the phone is off, or he has no reception.
Let's hope he's
Or-
not face down in a gutter somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be unsanitary, as well as a violation of waste disposal codes.
Not that one.
Date, I found some information about the figure.
Okay.
Aset is the name of a popular female musician.
That sounds like our witch. Is Aset a group name?
No, it is a single artist.
An Aset figure, huh?
Correct.
What's the name of her talent agency?
Lemniscate.
Lemniscate.
Sorry, what?
I repeat, Lemniscate.
Renju owns that company.
Correct.
Excuse me. Does the name Lemniscate ring a bell?
Oh, yes! That's where Ota goes.
Iba, bring the car around.
At once.
Okay, now we can go. But this idol. He mentioned a box. Why is still green? I don't understand that. I don't understand why the text is still green. Here, case, chair, bookshelf. A sticker on the side of it. Lucky cat. Lucky cat statue.
What the hell?
Are you unfamiliar with the superstition? Imitating a cat's meow to a lucky cat statue grants that person happiness and luck.
Really?
Is that right?
Meow. Oh my god.
You think that thing gets any channels?
Unlikely. I do not detect any tuners or antennas.
So it's actually quite old, seeing that the the place where the crime area show we are in the kinda modern futuristic time. We even have nanomachine, we have the eyeball. Yet there a CRT TV. So it's probably got this dining. It's been quite a long time. Anyway, let's go to Lemniscate. Whoa. Lemniscate Saturday 11:45.
That's him?
Correct.
Are you Ota Matsushita?
Who are you?
I show him my badge.
I'm from the MPD.
The police?
Wow. This game have a lot of good BGM. Low table in front of the sofa.
What do you think would happen if I flip this table over right now?
It would come out of your salary.
You're probably right. Guess I won't.
Wait. Wait a second. Do 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 do. Okay, it's working again. Ota's
Can I reach
laptop.
over and break that thing in half?
If you can pay for the damages.
Damn it.
What's wrong with you? So far, a sofa. It's a sofa. There's an abstract painting hung up.
What is that supposed to be?
I do not know. Date, look! Ants! Look at them go! Yay!
We need to have a discussion about your obsession with insects.
Okay. High stool.
That is a high stool.
A high school?
No, Date.
Company logo, Lemniscate. Reception desk. Desk. That's the reception desk. Receptionist. There's a receptionist with a huge breast sitting behind desk. There's a receptionist with huge breast sitting. Why is still green? There's a receptionist with huge breast. Huge breast. Can I zoom in? Breast. There are huge breasts sitting behind the desk. Oh my god. Door? A monitor. Promotional videos of the agency talent are playing. Nothing dirty though. This isn't that kind of company. Vending machine full of drink. Magazine rack. How to take a girl home in just 2 minutes? Really? I think I'll take a look at that. Yeah! I want that. Ota won't even look in my direction. He's just typing away on his laptop. What are you typing?
Nothing. Could you stop bothering me, please?
Could you look at me?
No. I'm kinda busy right now.
Are you a fan of Asset?
How did you know that?
Because I'm psychic.
Excuse me?
What can you tell me about last night?
Last night?
Don't play dumb, kid. Yesterday, 9 p.m., you called the police from a payphone. You told them about screaming you heard coming from Bloom Park.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, Ota, look. We either do this here, or I take you down to the station.
Do you have a warrant? Article 2.3 of the Execution of Law Enforcement Code. Unless initiated by legal process, no person shall be detained or obligated to answer any questions without explicit consent.
Wow! This is the type of kid I hate the most. Punch him!
Date, wait. Causing a disturbance in public will result in disciplinary action.
And what should I do?
I have an idea. Give me a moment.
Okay. Kick him?
I told you to wait.
Hurry up!
It's just pissing me off more.
Perhaps your dosage needs to be increased.
What dosage?
What?
Listen to me, Date. Ota's PC is connected to the internet via Wi-Fi.
And?
We can
I was
hack it.
curious, so I hacked into it.
Ooh, nice.
Does Tessa refer to Aset?
That is a popular fan nickname for her.
That means Mato has to be Ota.
Correct. However, it appears that Ota is the one operating the other 3 accounts as well.
What?
Optical Protein Fiber, Pongo Ponko, and KG are all Ota's sub-accounts. Ota is insulting Aset and defending her all by himself. This is what's known as a strawman sock puppet or false flagging.
This kid is pathetic.
No, it's a good marketing. Kinda. Can also make algorithm. Twitter algorithm is based kinda based on how much the reply you get per tweet. So this is actually kinda one kind of marketing. Hey kid!
Kid,
What do you want?
I'm gonna tell Aset
Tell her what?
that you're sock puppeting for her on Twitter.
Nah, uh, uh, what are you talking about?
You should drop the attitude.
You shouldn't make those kinds of accusations. Do you want to get sued for defamation?
Optical protein fiber, Pongo Ponko, and KG are all your sub accounts.
What? How do you know that?
I told you, kid. I'm psychic.
Ooh.
Now, I have some questions for you.
Fine.
Finally. When did you start with fake account?
Not only were you faking the whole thing, you made sure to add her so she'd see it.
But if she doesn't see it, she won't know that I'm protecting her.
Don't you think all those comments hurt her feelings, even if you defend her?
But in the end, I made it so everyone became her fans and got along and...
That's not the point.
I'm sorry.
Just don't do it again, okay?
Why are you here?
I'm waiting for Tessa to come out.
This is
Tessa?
an office building, not a concert hall.
This is the main facility of Lemniscate Entertainment's production branch. There are multiple studios for recording and broadcasting in this building. Tessa is recording a podcast today.
Okay. But last night.
I'm gonna ask you again. Were you the one who reported the screaming at Bloom Park around 9?
Yes,
Why were you in the area?
I,
You better tell me, or I'll tell everyone about your little imaginary enemies. Hey everyone, this guy...
Okay, I'll talk, just shh.
Okay. Talk now.
I went to Bloom Park because I was supposed to meet someone.
Did you enter the park?
Yes,
So who were you meeting?
a girl named Mizuki Okiyura.
What did you say?
Mizuki Okiyura? She's the daughter of the president of Lemniscate. Do you know her?
Yeah, I know her.
She's so cute in there. How do you know Mizuki?
She's just a friend.
Yes, she better be.
What? Why do you care?
Where and how did you two meet?
Here, the Lemniscate lobby. Mizuki is friends with Tessa. I was talking to Tessa one day and she just comes up like, hey,
When was this?
last September. So, I guess the relationship has lasted over a year now.
The
Call it a
relationship.
relationship?
Well, what am I supposed to call it?
Wow, it's definitely a father mode. The father mode is high. There are huge breasts sitting behind the desk. How do you know Mizuki?
Anyway, I have her look over my work sometimes.
Work?
I write light novels.
Really? What's your pen name?
Odoin Kyoma.
That is a lie. Database searches reveal no professional authors have ever submitted work under that name.
Hey, Ota. How about you stop lying to me? My third eye can see through your bullshit.
Well, I'm not a published author. I'm an aspiring author to be exact. So, anyway, Mizuki reads my novels. I get notes and advice from her.
From a 6th grader?
She's surprisingly insightful. She has the talent to be an editor for sure.
Okay, continue. Can you provide a detailed account of last night?
Around 8:10 last night, I got a call from Mizuki saying she wanted to meet me at Bloom Park. She sounded scared. You know how that area is run down and abandoned? I think she
Yes.
wanted me to go with her as protection.
But why Bloom Park?
Someone messaged her on Nile.
Nile is a popular messaging application for smartphones and PCs.
Or you can say it
What did they say?
line.
She didn't tell me exactly, but it said to come to the merry-go-round at Bloom Park tonight.
Who sent it?
I don't know. But Mizuki was determined to go.
Can you provide a detailed account of last night?
What happened next?
I met up with Mizuki and we went into the park.
Okay, so they meet in there. Did you leave her there?
Did you leave her there? You left a 12-year-old girl by herself?
I didn't mean to. I was panicking. People do stupid things when they're in fight or flight mode. Like when people grab their pillow and run out of their house in a fire.
Jeez, you're a real hero, kid.
See, I knew you would make fun of me. This is why I didn't want to tell you.
Is that why you didn't identify yourself on the phone? You seriously didn't think we'd find you? Mizuki would have told us everything.
I didn't think she would.
Why wouldn't she?
She said that if she ever got caught going out at night with someone like me, her roommate would kill her.
Yeah. Good girl, indeed. Why did you use a payphone?
I tried using my cell phone at first, but my heart was pounding and I was scared and my hand was shaking. And with the rain last night, it kind of slipped out of my hand.
You dropped it?
Yeah, right into a puddle.
Iba, can you trace the last signal that Otis' phone sent out?
Near Bloom Park, just past 9 p.m. The phone has not been turned on since.
I guess he's telling the truth.
Hey, Ota, what are you doing?
Tessa!
She is the one in the cover.
And you are?
Mr. Date from the MPD. He came here to ask me about what happened last night.
You mean a detective? Wow! I've never met a real detective before.
Okay, why? He looks so calm in there.
Date, your adrenaline level is rising.
Yeah.
Something the matter?
No, nothing.
Okay, seriously, what happened with him? Let me save. Save. Let's save in here. Why this game have a lot of good BGM? Ota, look. Ota looking at A said, well, not really a look, more of a gawk or an enraptured gaze. About A said,
Gee, Tessa, you always look so cute. So cute. So cute that I can't take it. Don't you think so too, Date?
You're awfully familiar with her.
I can't help it. Her loving aura is in the air. When I'm with her, my head gets all light, and I just relax and don't sweat the small stuff, you know?
okay. Did you talk to her about last night?
Oh,
I heard about it. About Ota seeing that corpse at Bloom Park. He told me.
Tessa?
Why didn't you come to the police?
Such a shocking story would certainly pique the young woman's interest. It is possible Ota wanted her attention.
He told her about a dead body he found for attention?
Yeah, that's weird.
Actually, I already knew about it before Ota told me.
Wait, what?
How?
It's all over the internet. When I saw Ota this morning, I asked him about it. He told me he saw the body.
About Soko Nadami. I took out Soko photo from my pocket and showed it to Ota.
You know who this is, right?
Yeah, it's the woman I saw at Bloom Park. Her name is Shoko Nadami. I saw it on the news.
Wait, do you not know who her daughter is?
She has a daughter?
I didn't know that either.
They must be unaware that Shoko is Mizuki's mother.
Maybe because her last name is different. Nadami and Okiura.
Yup.
It has also not yet been reported that Shoko is Renju's ex-wife.
Okay. Ota gazing at Aset. Aset.
Something wrong?
No, you just look beautiful.
You aren't even blinking. Come on, I'm shy. You're embarrassing me.
You look mad at me.
Oh, are you a fan of mine? Okay, now I'm getting a little creeped out. You can stop staring now.
Let me stare at you more. I should stop staring at her. Damn it. She'll think I'm crazy. Are you Aset?
Let me confirm something. You're Aset, right?
Let's play a game. Shadows!
Thread? Silhouette? Aset!
Fears!
Upset? Regret? Aset!
Water!
Wet? Sweat? Aset!
Yay! A-set, you bet!
The magnetic currents in the atmosphere are clearly causing aberrant behavior. We should leave. At once.
Okay, that is weird. How old are you?
I turned 18 this year.
A senior in high school?
Yep.
Date, I recommend you keep your hands to yourself.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna make a move.
What?
Oh, I meant Ota.
Wait, you were gonna make a move on me?
Wait, what? Wow. What your relationship with Ota?
Relationship?
like a goddess and a summoned thrall.
Her thrall?
If Tessa ever gets in trouble, I swoop in and protect her.
You sound more like a superhero than a thrall. Ota always defends me when I'm getting bashed online.
Stop, you're making me blush.
This guy.
Oh. I wonder if I'm going to be the same as him when I meet. Oh, anyway. About the shock puppeting.
Hey, let me tell you something. It's about those posts on Twitter.
That face.
Wait!
Looks like you're my thrall now. Isn't that right, Ota?
Yeah, just be cool.
GG, Ota. GG. Not GG. I forget what I should use in that situation. Your friend with Mizuki?
Mizuki Okiura?
Yes?
Yeah, I am. Mr. Okiura runs the agency, and Mizuki is his daughter. So, we hang out sometimes.
Is that how you became friends?
There's more to it than that, but basically,
Mizuki and I live under the same roof. But she doesn't tell me about her personal life. She doesn't tell me much of anything, come to think of it. I'm totally in the dark.
So, Mizuki must come here to hang out sometimes.
Okay. Ota? I said we're leaving.
Date, I have determined that these two have no further information for us. Our goal is to find the murderer of Shoko Nadami. Let us continue.
Right. Let's head back to the crime scene. See you kids later.
where are you going?
Back to where the corpse was found.
In that case, I'll go with you.
What?
You'll what?
Please take me with you.
Why?
Because I want to know more about what happened. Do you have any suspects? Probably some crazy murderer, right?
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
one in
Otto was
here.
telling me. The corpse was strung up on that merry-go-round. It must have been some kind of twisted message. Ota, take a video.
Huh?
Just do it. Mr. Date!
Wait, what?
Please, Mr. Date! You can't leave me!
What?
I can't imagine life without you!
Wow!
Doing?
Ota, did you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. This girl is scary. Okay, there's a receptionist with huge breasts sitting behind the desk. This again. There's a receptionist with huge breasts. Huge breasts. Breasts. There are huge breasts sitting behind the desk. And I can't zoom at all, damn it. I want to see it more clearly. I mean, look at that. It's a watermelon. It's a watermelon indeed. Ota is staring danger at me. Something wrong?
No, not at all. I'm just imagining your body sinking into Tokyo Bay.
I'm used to sinking. Part of the job.
Huh?
Damn this girl. Aset has a rather inappropriate smile on her face given the circumstances. That smug on her face is scary. What are you doing?
Mr. Date, you are a member of the MPD, aren't you? A public servant? I wonder, what would happen if this little video happened to go viral?
You wouldn't.
Oh, and just so you know, taking my phone away won't help. It's already in the cloud.
You little...
Wow. Why are you doing this?
I told you. I want you to take me to the scene of the crime. If you do, I promise I'll delete the video.
Date, a thought has occurred to me. She really is quite the seductress.
Okay, we can move now. A Bloom Park. AI Psych Rear View Mirror. I can see the scenery. This car isn't domestic. It's made in Australia, so the steering wheel is on the right side. That's because they also drive on the left side off the road. Wait, wasn't Japanese also like this?
And Indians use the left too.
What?
Nothing. Just thinking.
A what? The steering wheel. Dashboard. It has a speedometer, tachometer, and other meter and gauge.
This ride is pretty rad, huh?
It is indeed rad.
Hey, you got any guns in here?
Wait.
I bet you do.
No, not in there.
So you do have a gun.
Da, 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 da. There's something else in here. I said only. Look.
Mr. Date, shouldn't you keep your eyes on the road?
Don't worry about it. I'm a professional.
I said is sitting in the passenger seat. About Ota.
Why do you ask?
You two are very close for an idol and a fan.
Ota is special. He really is like a hero to me.
Hero, huh?
Oh, the marketing work. It's a rough technique, but it worked. Why did you become an idol?
Well, I guess it was because I've always wanted to be famous, you know? I want to be famous, get on TV, be a household name.
But you're not there yet.
It's alright. Internet stars do better if they don't sell out.
Internet star?
Wait, what?
Ota didn't tell you? I'm most famous on the internet. I do songs, and dances, and play video games and stuff on stream. Have you heard of Shovel Forge?
Shovel Forge is a game in which you manipulate cubes on the terrain to build structures.
Or Minecraft?
I've been focusing a lot on that game lately.
What about being on TV?
I'm not very popular yet. I can only get on TV as a background singer or something. I don't get many gigs either.
Just... not just like me. I'm far below that. Damn it. I need more. I need something. How to be a popular streamer? A popular vtuber. That's a question for every vtuber out there. Anyway, how did you start working for Lemniscate?
Well, at first all I did was stream from home. And then, not to sound cocky, but I started getting pretty big. I started getting offers from agencies.
And one of them was Lemniscate?
Well, not exactly.
Wait,
Huh?
My mom's actually an old friend of the president of the agency.
A friend of Renju's?
Yeah. So I asked him for advice one day. You know, you have to be careful. Even a place that looks legitimate with an office and everything can be sketchy.
yes.
My mom and I didn't know anything about the industry at all. Anyway, one day Mr. Okiura said to come see him at his office, and he hooked me up.
So she didn't actually working at Lemniscate. But what are she doing in there? About Mizuki.
We're good friends. We go to movies and karaoke and go shopping together. She's really good at listening to me bitch and moan about my problems. I'm so much older than her, but it really doesn't even feel like it.
Do you have any question for me?
Questions. Ah, what's it like being a detective?
Oh, wait. I forget I need to move. I forget about this. Transform. Flip horizontal. And move it here?
Wouldn't know.
I think this is a good place, maybe. Yep. It's just in here.
Much about that. I'm not a detective.
But you are a cop.
Wait,
right?
what did she ask? What it's like being a detective. Okay.
Right. But I'm not on the crimes unit.
Then what unit are you in?
What indeed?
What?
You aren't gonna
Indeed.
tell me? Please?
What are you doing?
Just thinking about posting that video.
Damn!
Well then tell me!
Damn this girl. About that video.
You know, now that I think about it, wouldn't you get in trouble for that video too?
What?
The video. You're an idol, right? You have a status to maintain. If that video went viral, I think you'd be in trouble too.
It's okay.
Wait.
It is?
Because sometime real soon, I I'm going to die.
Wait, what?
What?
I can see into the future. I know when I'm going to die. Just kidding!
I hope so.
I hope
Anyway,
so.
I'm not going down without a fight. So I will release that video if you don't cooperate.
Damn it. Center console. It got AC and radio control in it. This is an older car, but it has state-of-the-art computer installed in it. Aiba can even remotely control it. About my department.
I'm part of a special investigation unit known as Abyss.
Date!
I don't have a choice.
What's Abyss?
Advanced Brain Investigation Squad. The public doesn't know about it.
Wow, cool!
Don't tell anyone.
I promise I won't. I swear to the Egyptian goddess Isis.
Why ISIS? Ask for her real
By
name.
the way, I didn't catch your name.
You really want to know?
It's okay if you don't want to tell me.
Iris. Iris Sagan. I know, weird, right?
Okay, what happened?
Ratty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Had it, poke it, fill it with fruit. Something wrong?
No.
He knows her. Okay, what's going on? Bloom Park, Saturday, 1:12 p.m.
Excuse me, Yukaname Date?
That's right.
And the girl?
She's an important witness for this case.
Yep.
We've got business here.
Oh, okay.
The body are already moved. But where is Ota? He is the real witness. Is there anything changed? The roof of the merry-go-round. There's a hole in it now from all the years and weathering.
Mr. Date, that horse.
That was stored in the warehouse nearby. Some kids must have broken in and put it up as a joke.
Is it really a joke? It makes me kind of angry for some reason.
I would burn all those damn benches if I could.
Where is this anger coming from?
A local cop, policeman, look. How the investigation coming?
It's not looking too great. We searched all over here, but we didn't find nothing.
Wait, the Paul? Metal Paul.
I know what you're thinking, Mr. Date. You wanted to see me dance on that pole, huh?
What
Yes!
the hell are you talking about?
I want to see that. I want to see it. There's the Ferris wheel. Still remind me of a giant eye staring down. Panda ride. The type yet you put a coin in
Black
it.
and white bear? I'm not gonna be punished, am I?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Just thinking about a game I like.
A what? Black and white bear? There's something like that in Minecraft?
Is that a phone booth?
No, it's the control room. This is where the staff would run the merry-go-round.
I was joking. But hey, if you sense any trouble, you can hop in there and change.
How old are you, making that reference?
I suspect that she did not give you her real age, knowing what a phone booth is.
Okay. It's the control room of the merry-go-round. What else? Column? Last night I found Mizuki inside the central column. Why was she in there? There's a fence around the merry-go-round. Iris. Look. Iris is investigating the horse, looking over it curiously. What are you doing?
I was trying to find some clues.
She's a natural detective, huh?
Mr. Date, was the body on top of this horse here?
Yeah, that's the one.
Seems like some kind of ritual murder to me.
Okay.
Maybe a religious cult sacrificing her to the devil or something. They conducted their ritual here. Like shadowy, hooded figures going around and around, stabbing her one by one.
That's quite an imagination. But, do you have any proof?
I do.
Well, let's hear it.
So what the proof?
The horses. Horse? Sounds kind of like Horus, right?
What are you talking about?
You don't know Horus? Horus is the Egyptian god of the sky and sun. The right eye is the eye of Ra, and that's the sun. The left eye is the eye of Wajet, and that one is the moon. It's the same idea behind the eye of Providence.
The Eye of Providence?
The all-seeing eye.
Oh, I see.
Illuminati.
Just like what's on the back of a $1 bill.
Yeah, exactly. The Eye of Providence is supposed to be the symbol of Freemasonry and the Illuminati. Starting to see the picture?
Not really.
Is she an Egyptian mythology mania? That seemed the case. What do you think? This is a ritual murder.
Remember Ota describing the scene? He said there was an ice pick stabbed into the corpse's left eye socket. Horus? Providence? Left eye? There has to be some kind of meaning to this.
Wait, what did you just say?
What?
The ice pick was inside the victim's left eye socket?
Yeah?
Ota told you that? He's sure that's what he saw.
Yeah. Why?
When we arrived at the scene, the ice pick was not in the victim's eye socket.
If Ota's telling the truth...
He would have no reason to lie about such a detail.
But
Tinazuki?
Oh damn. What's going on in here? Oh yeah, I'm still wondering why we didn't bring Ota. If we bring Ota, we can ask what the scene looked like. Have you been here before?
When I was younger, but not since it closed. Kabasaki is restricted, right? No one's supposed to be here.
This amusement park, Bloom Park, is located at the heart of the Kabasaki district. It was closed 8 years ago. The closure was due to an accident at a nearby chemical plant. An explosion caused massive amounts of chemical pollutants to contaminate the area. The government quickly issued evacuation orders. Eventually, the entire district was deemed unsafe for habitation and restricted. Therefore, Bloom Park was permanently closed.
But a restricted area doesn't mean much if there aren't enough officers to patrol it. There's still plenty of ways in. You can even get in by boat. Hell, some people ignored the evac order and are still living here.
Are they okay?
I don't know. But if anything happened to them, it'd be their own fault.
Are we safe?
We are, yeah. Decontamination for this area is basically done. The chemical concentration around here isn't high enough to hurt you. You could run a marathon here and be okay.
But it's still off limits, right?
Yes, legally. That keeps the media out, at least. I'm glad. It's quieter than it usually is.
You're wasting your time.
Hey, Iris, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish here, but you're wasting your time.
What do you mean?
The cops already scoured the place. They didn't find any leads, not a single clue. If they had, they would have notified Iba.
Iba?
My partner.
Your partner? I don't see anybody.
She's right in front of your eyes.
Or is she in front of my eyes?
Huh?
The horse. Look.
Last night, Shoko's corpse was on top of the horse.
It has been removed. The body has been transported to headquarters for autopsy and review.
Zoom. This is the place where the body is. Shoko corpse was tied in there. Wait a minute.
Iba, can you show me the earliest recorded images of the scene of the crime?
What is your intention?
Shoko's cause of death was blood loss from multiple stab wounds with the ice pick. Naturally, there should be plenty of blood.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But there isn't a single drop on the horse. And it was like this when we found it.
Correct. There are no signs of blood being wiped or washed off either.
That must mean...
She was killed somewhere else and then bring it here. There was no blood on the horse. That must mean she was killed somewhere else. We don't talk to the police. Anyway, we should go. We should go.
Come on. Just a little longer.
No. I'm already in enough trouble bringing a civilian in here.
Okay, I guess.
Hey, you alright? Are you okay?
Morning sickness.
What?
I'm kidding. It's not like I would know.
Get on. I'll give you a ride home.
Yeah, score.
Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
Oh my god.
See, 105, huh?
You can tell just by lifting me?
Yeah.
Your back is so warm, Mr. Date.
Wait, hold on a second there. By the way, what is 105 pound? 105 pound to kilogram. It's 47.6. When I'm at the college, the lowest weight I have is 48 kilogram. And I am skinny as hell. How can a woman be lower than that?
You know, I'm feeling kind of bored.
Seriously?
Yeah? Then what? Center console?
You know how stuff always gets beat up when you put it in here? Don't you wish they could make these things a little nicer?
The glove box has been like that for all the car. What else? Rear mirror?
Oh my god. There's a woman in the back seat!
What? Where?
I'm just screwing with you.
Mr. Date! You're a meanie.
A meanie, huh?
Ah ha 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 ha. Okay.
Meanie, meanie, bo beanie.
And a fan of Fofini? Meanie. Can't believe I remember that silly rhyme.
You can see the scenery through the rear window. Oh, look. Iris is still sitting in the passenger seat. She seems to be doing okay. How are you feeling?
Horrible.
Shame.
Oh, you should worry about me more.
Looks like you're feeling better now.
Maybe I'm just acting.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What if I threw up right here?
I would put it right back where it came from.
Oh, damn.
That makes me actually want to throw up.
Iris opened the passenger window.
Wait, seriously?
No, but I am kind of warm.
The current temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 60%. It is unlikely that heat would be a factor.
Hey, Date. They say when you stick your hand out of a car going 100, you get a rush like you're holding D cups.
Watch it. You'll get your arm ripped off.
Relax, I'm invincible. My arm regenerates like an alien's.
Didn't you tell me that you're gonna die soon?
It feels strange.
Your hand?
No, not that. It feels like I've met you before.
Well, that's nice. But if you don't get your damn hand back in this car right now...
Okay, okay. The wind feels nice.
Yeah, I like the wind more than A wind coming from AC. Sagan Residence, Saturday 3:09 p.m.
You should come in.
No, that's all right. I'm gonna head home.
Boo! Going home already?
I said my goodbyes, then turned to leave. But out of the corner of my eye, who is he?
Oh, who is this, Iris?
I felt my body freeze. Because that woman, she's the one that died in the dream. No, it can't be. It can't be. I felt like my mind and body were being torn in opposite direction. As I stood there stunned, Iris grabbed my hand.
Come on, I'll make some tea.
You're
Nice to meet you. I'm Iris's mother, Hitomi.
Miss Hitomi.
And you are?
Kaname Date from the MPD.
Police? Are you a detective?
No, Mom. Mr. Date said he's...
Iris?
Oh, right. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
After an awkward silence, Iris brought us some tea on a tray. She put everything down on the table and sat down on the sofa. Wasn't this area is the one on Dream? There are no books on it, but it's definitely a bookshelf. I saw it in a catalog before, so I know. The lights are off. There's a calendar and a strange object on the shelf. It reminds me of a kind of angel. What is that object? There is tabletop calendar and a mysterious object on the shelf. Object?
You are beyond perverted.
Yes,
These
you
thoughts
are.
private, okay?
Cupboard, there are a lot of dishes. Dish or dishes? Refrigerator.
A riddle. How do you put a giraffe in a refrigerator?
You just put it in.
What?
The solution is this. You open the door, put the giraffe in, and close the door.
What kind of a riddle is that?
Another riddle. How do you put an elephant in the refrigerator?
You open the
Is that the same
refrigerator,
answer?
put in the elephant,
Open the door,
and close the
put it in,
door.
Close the door.
Incorrect. The giraffe is already inside.
Damn it.
You must remove the giraffe before you put the elephant inside.
I
That's
forgot
the
about
solution.
that.
Your riddles could use some work.
But yeah, it's a very old riddle. A microwave.
Let me know if you're cold. I'll pop you in there and warm you up.
I would suggest putting your heart in there first.
Oh, what else? Kitchen counter? I can see them from here, but there's probably a sink and stove on the other side. There's a door in the back of the room. There's a drawing on the wall. I wonder if Iris drew this when she was younger. You can see the trees and sky outside. There are some elementary workbooks on the table. But looking closely, one in the middle is different. Osagami Sumo Wrestler Directory. Tea? Steam is rising from the tea. Coffee table. I saw this entire room in my dream last night.
Is there a problem, Date?
Yes, there is.
No, that's nothing.
A telephone in the corner. Okay, I think we're done seeing that. Let's talk to Hitomi first. I saw her in my dream last night. No, that's impossible. Where do you work?
I'm a teacher at the local elementary school.
The teacher. Must be a tough job.
Oh, not for me. I love children. Even the struggles and challenges are quite rewarding for me.
May I ask how old you are?
I'm 37.
And Miss Iris here is 18?
Yup.
You were very young when you had her.
Yes, just 19 years old.
What about your husband?
I don't have one.
Divorce?
Mr. Date, please.
It's all right, Iris. I've never been married.
A single mother.
Yes.
Nice. About Renju Okiura.
By the way, I heard that you were friends with the president of Lemniscate, Mr. Okiura.
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now.
Eitoku High.
You know it?
I know everything on the internet.
Everything on the internet now. Do you know Renju ex-wife?
Yes, I do. But I only met her twice. Once at Renju's wedding, and then again just a few months ago. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Do you know me? Oh, sorry for the strange question. It just feels like we've met before.
No. This is the first time we've met.
Of course.
Is it just me or that line is more bassy or deeper? The voice sound more deeper than before. Iris' mother, Hitomi Sagan. Sagan Hitomi. Iris, look. Iris is looking this way. How long have you been living here?
Since I was born. And Mom was living here before that.
I grew up in this house. I've made a lot of memories here. I've thought about moving before, but I just couldn't bring myself to leave this place.
Why were you considering moving?
Well, because there was... well, I don't know.
Huh?
Is there some kind of trouble? You look cheaper.
You think so?
Yeah,
I was just thinking about a hunch I had this morning.
a hunch.
Okay.
There are flowers blooming behind me, right?
There are, yeah? What about them?
Okay. About the flower. Iris was hinting about the flower blooming behind her. This one?
The flowers.
It's an iris.
An iris. I thought those bloom in May.
That's the winter iris. Iris ungicularis. They bloom in the cold.
They bloomed just this morning.
I see.
In the language of flowers, the iris means good news and hope. When I saw the flowers this morning, I just knew something good would happen.
Okay. Winter iris. It means good news and hope. About the flower. Iris was hinting about the flower blooming behind her. You were saying?
Mr. Date, please drink your tea. It's getting cold.
Oh, right.
We haven't even touched our cups.
Well then, let's have a sip.
Are you left-handed?
Oh,
Mom used to be right-handed. But now...
It locked up on me.
Ah,
Locked
I see.
up? What does it mean, it lock up? I understand she maybe can use her right hand anymore. Oh well. You seem to be doing well now.
Yeah, thanks to you. I feel as tough as a lion. Rawr!
How am I supposed to react to that?
Don't think about it. You'll only hurt yourself.
The only thing is just goodbye. Save. How many save I have? It's only 10. Oh well. It's time for a goodbye.
Well, I think it's time for me to be heading home.
I stood and head for the door. Iris and Hitomi stood politely.
Mr. Date, we'll see each other again, right?
You sure you want that? I'm a cop after all. If you ever see me again, it probably won't be under the best of circumstances.
Oh,
But because you're Mizuki's friend, yeah, we might see each other again. She is kind of like my roommate after all.
What?
Anyway, be seeing you. Excuse me. Well, I should head home.
All right. Take care, Date.
Okay, this is weird. Why we see a dream about that place?
Date, let's go over the facts of the case.
Good idea.
Now, who is this handsome gentleman? Oh, it's me. Damn you. Allow me to introduce myself.
Hi, my name is Kaname Date. Nice to meet you. What? Date? I have the same name. What a coincidence.
Perhaps he's had too much medication.
Play a game.
Hey, me. Want to play a game? Sure, let's play I Spy. I spy something round. My eyeball. Correct. I win.
I will terminate you.
Focus. You got this.
Don't push yourself, Date. No, I'm fine, Date.
You do not appear to be fine.
Look, a crazy grandma with a knife is running straight for us.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. What else in here? I can see myself through Aiba.
Do you hide your risque reading material in there, Date?
Not at all. Why would I hide them there?
So you hide it somewhere else. Nice.
Dashboard.
Dashboard.
Wait. You in there? I didn't see you in there. Aiba is fit into the center of the wheel. It's charging. Yep, nothing else. Nothing else. Aiba, look. Aiba is charging right now. She doesn't have a built-in generator. That means that I have to charge her sometime. Is it sanitized though? From wheel into the eye socket. About Shoko corpse.
The estimated time of death is yesterday, Friday, around 5 p.m. The cause of death is blood loss from multiple stab wounds to the torso. The weapon used to commit the murder is almost certainly the ice pick Mizuki was holding when we discovered her. There were no fingerprints, hair, or other clues left behind by the culprit.
Yeah, one thing that is strange is when Ota called the police, she said he heard a scream. But he actually just running from the crime scene. So he actually lied about hearing a scream because he doesn't want police to know he in the crime scene. Maybe that's maybe. Anyway, I'm thinking too much.
The corpse was found tied up on one of the horses of the merry-go-round. This makes it clear that the killer had no intention of hiding their crime. Rather, it appears as though it was displayed deliberately,
Our perp wants the limelight.
or is attempting to send some kind of message.
Okay.
The corpse was found with her left eye removed. That eyeball has yet to be found. According to Iris's testimony, when Ota first discovered the body, the ice pick was still lodged in the left eye socket.
So why did Mizuki have the ice pick? Could she have taken the eye?
I don't think so. The weird thing is, after Ota ran away, why did Mizuki go into the center column? We still haven't know something about that. We haven't know anything about that yet. Let's hear the timeline of event.
Aiba, can you give me a timeline of the events of the crime?
At once.
I wonder who sent that Nile message to Mizuki.
Probably the culprit themselves.
But Mizuki wouldn't obey the instructions of a complete stranger.
Then Mizuki knew the sender.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or the suspect used her friend's phone.
Aiba, can you hack into the phone and find out who sent the Nile message?
Nile's security protocols are intricate. It will take time to decipher.
Really? About the blood stain.
When we arrived on the scene, there was no blood on the horse the body was mounted upon.
Which means the merry-go-round wasn't the murder scene. Shoko was killed somewhere else and then brought there to be displayed. That means Mizuki couldn't have done it. She's 12. She can't move a body or drive a car.
Were you considering her a suspect?
That's part of the job. If there's even the slightest possibility.
Then this is good news. It means the likelihood of Mizuki being the killer is almost zero.
I knew that from the start. She would never put her hands on her own mother. She doesn't have what it takes to commit murder.
Okay, so what does this mean? Why was Mizuki inside the column? Yes, this is the strange thing.
Perhaps she was playing hide and seek.
Hide and seek?
It was not a serious suggestion. I was merely joking, as you call it.
Well, it can be right to hide and seek to the culprit. Anything on your mind?
Yes, as a matter of fact. I checked the surveillance cameras around Bloom Park again, and I noticed something strange.
Something strange?
There were no cars. Yesterday, in the parking lot and the streets in the vicinity, there was not a single vehicle.
Are you sure?
I am.
Then, how did the suspect move the corpse?
I have no idea.
Okay. Police headquarters, Saturday, 4:26 p.m.
Welcome back. I brought her here after her examination was over.
Mizuki. Has she said anything?
No, still can't talk.
Was it okay for you to bring her here?
I got permission from the hospital. Apparently, the hospital director has been poking a few of the nurses. So I asked him about that, and all of a sudden he seemed very open to the idea.
That's not permission, it's blackmail.
Same thing. You know what you need to do now, right? Sync with her.
Okay. Chair. Just a chair. A monitor? Strange string of character and figures scroll across the monitor. What else in here? Pewter. Binder. A binder full of paper. It looked like the manual for the sink machine. Sink machine. There's an enormous machine beyond the window. This machine is known as the sink machine. Mizuki? Look, Mizuki is lying in the sink machine on the other side of the glass. I'll try talking to her. She can't hear me from here. Okay. Pewter first. You sure this okay?
She's only 12. You sure this is okay?
The machine is safe. I can guarantee that. You have nothing to worry about.
His real name is Amanoma, but he goes by Pewter here. 36 years old. He's a member of Abyss, like me. He's a genius engineer that designed the sink system and other machine. He also invented Aiba. He's her caretaker in a way. Right now he's operating the sink console. How's Mizuki doing?
Her vitals are stable. Her EEG is also stable. I think we can proceed.
Okay. About Aiba.
Hey, Pewter? About Iba, could you do something about her personality?
Do something about it?
It wouldn't kill her to be more modest. Maybe a little more ladylike?
If you dare reprogram me, I will self-destruct in your eye socket.
Huh. So you were listening, huh?
You're asking me that now? I'm asking you to sync with Mizuki because we have no progress. Maybe Mizuki saw something at the scene. Maybe she went inside that merry-go-round to hide. But she isn't answering any questions. The only way to find out is to dive into her subconscious mind. Don't you agree?
No. Boss is watching Mizuki through the glass. Are you sure you want to do this?
If we don't do it now, then when? This is exactly the kind of situation Abyss was founded for. Besides, if you dive into Mizuki's subconscious, you may be able to help her. Her aphonia is psychogenic. Physically, she's fine. Her injuries are mental. Which is understandable after seeing her mother like that. You may be able to heal her, Date. You just have to sync with her. You're the only one who can.
Did you get Renju permission?
Renju Okiura is Mizuki's legal guardian. Did you get permission from him?
I couldn't get in touch with him.
What? I thought he was being questioned by a local unit.
His questioning ended around noon. He hasn't been heard from since.
Why would he...
I don't know.
Anyway, are you ready?
We are ready to begin.
Date, go to the sync room.
Got it.
Agent Date, Mizuki is reacting. Her heart rate is rising and her brainwaves are showing signs of disturbance. She may be getting nervous about the procedure.
Date, try to calm her down.
How do I do that?
It's true that she can't speak to you. But she can hear you. Try talking with her.
Sure thing, boss.
The psych chair. The subject's chair. The person sitting here is the subject of sciencing. Sciencing? Sciencing. Psych machine. The psych machine. Mizuki is lying on the chair. About the psych gear.
I know it looks scary, but trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no pain, no side effects. When this is all over, you'll go back to your regular life like this never happened.
Psych.
Sinking is what we call diving into someone's subconscious mind. You sink deep down into their psyches, and you synchronize with their true selves. People like me are called sinkers. Sinkers enter the subject's subconscious, which is a dreamlike state we call somnium. It's Latin for dream. There are 6 sinkers at Abyss. I'm one of them.
Okay. About Abyss.
Mizuki, I've never told you this, but I'm not an ordinary policeman. I belong to a special investigation unit called Abyss. Advanced Brain Investigation Squad. We explore the human mind with state-of-the-art technology and research. There are a billion kinds of suspects and persons of interest out there. People that lie, people that don't say anything, people that have head injuries, or some that have deep mental wounds that keep them from talking. So, how do we get clues from these people? We have to get inside their heads. The truth is in their minds. Our job is to find it.
Okay, next is... So here's what's going to happen.
I'm gonna be inside your head. I'll be looking for clues about the culprit.
Not only that, we will also attempt to discover the cause of Mizuki's muteness and rectify it. With her aphonia cured, we can ask her further questions directly.
Okay, it's time. When this is all over.
Hey Mizuki, when this is all over, what should I say?
When this is all over. Save. When this is all over. Let's go get some unagi.
I remember you saying how you liked watching the eels get prepared for cooking. How they pin the head to the board and the shaft is wriggling around.
Date.
That time, I honestly didn't mean it to sound dirty. Oops. I should watch my mouth around Mizuki.
Date, her heart rate is steadying. EEG is stable.
Date, get into position. Let's begin.
Oh, and Special Agent, I forgot to mention one thing. I added a new feature to the sync system.
What?
Feature.
You'll learn more when you're synced. It's very useful.
Sure, got it.
Date, you ready?
Okay, ready anytime.
Remember, Date, you have only 6 minutes in the Somnium world. Any longer, and your consciousness will be absorbed by the subjects.
Yeah, I know. I'll find a lead and get out in under 6 minutes.
Okay.
We're counting on you.
Well then, let's begin.
What should I do in here?
What was that?
Nothing. I was merely trying to enter the scene like a cybernetic assassin from the future.
Well, if you're trying to do that, you'd have to do it naked. Is this Bloom Park? Lightning and a bird cage. Maybe this is representative of Mizuki's state of mind.
The fact that Shoko was killed here must weigh heavily on Mizuki's heart.
Mizuki should be inside that column.
To get the information we need, we will have to deal with the lightning and the cage and get to Mizuki.
Move fast, or time is going to run out.
Okay,
Unnecessary.
before that,
Look around.
let's save.
Look around?
This is the new feature of Sync that Pewter mentioned.
You can stop time?
Only when standing still. Time is moving incredibly slowly. Currently, you and I are transmitting information at high speed, so it only appears as though time has stopped. Are you familiar with the concept of time dilation?
It has to do with relativity, right? Two people can experience time differently depending on space-time.
This is similar to that. The flow of time in Somnium is different than the real world.
This could be useful. You can only stay in Somnium for 6 minutes, right? But with this, you could take your time and explore.
Let's get started. Somnium scan! Activate!
Okay. Mental lock 1, mental lock 2, mental lock 3. I need heal Mizuki heart. Mizuki is mute. By healing her mental wound, you may be able to get important info.
To reach Mizuki, something must be done about the lightning that keeps striking the birdcage.
Lightning's supposed to strike at the highest point.
An ice pick piercing Shoko's photograph.
Okay.
Speaker over there. It's shaking.
I see. It must be connected to the ice pick.
What do we do here?
Healing Mizuki should be your top priority.
I know.
Time limit. There is a 6-minute time limit in Somnia. Time is expanded whenever Aiba is moving or performing an action. Pay attention to the remaining time left in the upper right of the screen. This one. Unlock all mental lock within the 360-second time limit. What else in here? Gate. What should I do with that?
An ice pick stabbed into Shoko's photograph.
Pull out 20 seconds. What is 1 to 2?
Right. No one would want to see their mother like this. It keeps going. What is this?
Something happened over there.
Okay, 1 is done. Redirect the lightning with the lightning rod. Okay.
The pillar became a lightning rod.
It looks like we can get to the birdcage now.
Our next step must be to remove it.
Okay, how we do that?
Date, we got a timing.
What is timey?
Time induction matter in encephalon. You can think of it as an item that affects the flow of time. Using this, you can slow down or speed up time in Somnium.
Is this another function Pewter added?
Correct.
Sounds like a dream.
Well, it is a dream. And because it is a dream, things such as this are possible.
Got it. Guess I'll try to use them where I can.
Timey are items that affect time. You will sometimes obtain them when you perform an action. Timey only affect the time taken to perform an action. You are only able to hold 3 timies. Picking up timey when you already hold 3 will replace 1. Timies are expand after 1 use, but use them as often as you can. Remove the birdcage, blow the birdcage away. Big birdcage. Okay.
An enormous birdcage.
I don't think I can lift it. Slip through. I don't think I can do anything. A microphone, a control room. Let's try microphone.
This appears to be the microphone for the speaker.
What is 1, 2, and 1, 4 meaning? Threaten or shout? What is the difference? Is this half the time and this is quarter the time? Let's try shout.
Stop it! Stop it already!
Okay, that's working well.
A mic.
Okay, we have control room.
The control room of the merry-go-round lifted out of the ground.
Let's try open.
What is your plan once I am inside?
It is a control room. Maybe we can do something in there.
I do not think it will be that easy.
Just try it.
Okay.
I didn't expect to see this inside.
I do not see an exit either.
But there's something suspicious here.
I see 2 bird cages.
Looks like there's something inside them. Take a look.
Okay. Let's try the left one.
A bird cage. There are ripped pieces of paper inside.
Tackle? It's this is half the time, this is quarter the time. Look. If I use this, it become 5 seconds. If I use this, it become 2 seconds. Let's use this and use this.
Let's see.
What is it?
It looks like a picture of something.
Picture?
Okay. Let's
A
leave
bird
it.
cage. There are ripped pieces of paper inside.
time to 30. I want quarter and use this.
All right, leave it to me. It is heavier than it looks.
Remove the birdcage. Nice. What is on the other side?
Nothing happened.
All I did was move the cage.
Retry will allow you return to a save point just after unlocking a mental lock. But you only have 3 retries. Going back 1 lock costs 1, going back 2 costs 2, and going back 3 costs all 3. You regain your 3 retries by selecting restart from the menu or by failing the sync. This is likely your best option if time is low.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
Okay.
There are torn pieces of paper.
Roll up and toss. What the hell? I want to try this. Let's try.
Roll them up. And toss them away. Ow!
Hey, handle them a little more carefully.
Okay.
There are torn pieces of paper.
I want to kick away. Let's try kick it.
Yeah. It came back.
Do you really think we can heal Mizuki like this?
No?
Following your instructions.
I thought it would relieve some stress.
You should consider what these pieces could mean.
What they mean, huh?
Okay.
There are torn pieces.
Let's piece together. Let's using the quarter one. Or 10 second? Let's use the 10-second one.
Leave it to me. I enjoy puzzles like this. Done. But...
Okay, we're back.
You were able to get out?
So the photo was the key. I remember it clearly. One day I came home to find that photo turned up in the trash can. When I asked Mizuki about it, she started to cry. I don't know why she tore up that photo. But whatever her reason, it seemed like she regrets it. Since we repaired the photo in Somnium, the birdcage,
Mizuki must be having a hard time.
But the cage is gone. We can get to Mizuki now.
Do you not see the horses spinning at hurricane speeds?
You can do it if you try a little.
No, you can't.
Alright, fine. We have to stop the spinning.
okay, there's something I see. There is a different route. Remove the cage. There's another cage. So this is actually multiple ending. Want to see this first.
The entrance gate.
Oh, we have a lot of them. Let's try tackle it.
Leave it to me. The gate hurts more than I do. The entrance gate.
Let's open.
We'll need more than a little force to open this. This gate is as solid as my virtue.
I don't know how solid your virtue is.
Okay.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
I understand, but I want to have fun. There is something I realize. This one. He's spinning around just like the horse.
The panda head is spinning.
What should I use? Let's use a 30 and use this. Spin more!
Wait, stop. The centrifugal force is gonna tear it apart.
I see. Spinning it makes it go faster.
How do we slow it down?
Okay,
Panda head is spinning.
let's ride. I'm gonna use the quarter one.
A horse?
Well, pandas and horses are pretty similar.
They are completely different. Are you blind?
Yeah, well, they both have 5 letters.
How is that relevant?
What the hell is this game? Okay, let's just stop it.
The head is spinning.
25 seconds. It's half. Just use the 10 one.
Why?
Maybe it's like the speaker before.
Okay, it's worked.
See. These were also linked.
That's right.
Now the only thing we need to do is go to the middle, to the center column.
Mizuki!
Let's go to her.
Got it.
If you choose the correct answer as your final action, you can actually exceed the 360-second time limit. Even if it seems that like you don't have a lot of time left, don't give up. You might be able to do it. More than 1 second. When you clear, you get a prize. No boss, anything but that. I don't think anything else in here.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
Okay. Nothing at all. Time to go inside. Merry-go-round.
A merry-go-round horse.
There's a spank.
You punched it?
Nothing is happening.
Poor horse.
Okay.
A merry-go-round horse.
Nah. Let's talk first. Let's save. Let's talk to her.
It's Mizuki!
Okay, why these look different? Okay, let's try this one first.
Merry-go-round horse.
Let's use half.
Does it look fun?
Yes?
Oh, I see. A merry-go-round horse.
I want to talk, but which one I need to use? 100 seconds. I think that's enough.
Excuse me, but do you happen to know the culprit? I see.
Did you learn something?
I did. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Well?
This horse cannot speak English.
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry!
Okay.
It's Mizuki!
50, I don't think I'm gonna get this. Slap her? Make her loud? Love? I think either up or down. Smile at her and hug her. This is the lowest. I'm gonna use half and hug her.
Mizuki.
There's a footprint now. Okay, we done this. Day 2 Mizuki A acquired. Day 2 Saturday Meikai.
Are you okay?
Date. Date!
Looks like she can talk again.
After she had calmed down, I asked her a few questions. I asked her about last night, about the Nile message about Ota, and about Shoko. I know that after Ota ran off, something must have happened to make Mizuki want to hide. But that is for next time. Guys, thank you for being here. See you again next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.